Hi, I'm LeeSun Truth Teller, a modern day minstrel, here to remind you that there's no truth outside of love. If it ain't loving, it ain't true. Welcome to the Truth Teller vlog. So it's Saturday morning. I've woken up stupidly early, even though my little boy's not with me this week, which means I don't have to get up for school or for him or for anything. I can just do whatever I like, which is kind of fantastic. But I just woke up. I didn't set an alarm. I don't set an alarm usually. I just sleep till I wake up. I sleep as long as I like on most days. That is part of the benefit of being self-employed. I only have to get up really early on Friday mornings for client meetings, and other than that, I just sleep till whenever. That doesn't mean I sleep all day. I just wake up when I need to, and this varies from day to day. But the thing that is quite unusual right now that is happening is I am waking up really, really early, like 6 a.m., and I am not sleeping in the night, so I'm falling asleep at like 3 or 4 in the morning, then waking up exhausted. It's happened 2 days in a row now. This all started Thursday night after group therapy. So I go to group therapy every Thursday night. Have I mentioned that on here before? I don't think I have, but not because it's a secret. I tell people all the time, especially if I'm trying to arrange something with someone and they suggest Thursday night. I'm like, oh no, I have group therapy Thursday night. I tell them this. And generally, people react with this sort of trying to be cool response where they clearly are very uncomfortable with the idea and they have all sorts of things that they have to deal with and process when the idea comes up. What's that about, right? A lot of people have certain ideas and associations around group therapy. When it's something that most of them have not ever experienced. I find that really interesting. Maybe those things go hand in hand, but it is really ironic, isn't it? Like people tend to have a lot of strong ideas and associations and assumptions around things that they haven't experienced. Isn't that weird? Because they haven't experienced it. Why do they have such strong ideas around it? Why do they have anything around it? It should just be completely formless until they've experienced it. So weird. But anyway, so group therapy. When I tell people, like, oh, yeah, I've got group therapy, people kind of react with, like, this sort of, like, I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to be cool. Yeah, I'm cool with that. When really the reason why they're having to be cool with it or trying to be cool with it is because they're not cool with it. And this week at group, that's okay. Like, this is kind of a human. I'm not judging that. I'm just saying this is what happens. Um, this week at group, at group, interesting things always happen, which is why I go. I go because it's good for me. I go because it's a part of my general well-being and health and growth and development. It's a really important space for me, and I am all about creating and protecting spaces in your life for things that are important for you and things that really honor the best that is in you and nurture that. I'm all about that. And so, yes, I go to group therapy because that is one important way for an hour and a half every week. 1 hour and a half. It's not a crazy amount of time to commit each week, but it is significant. That's the amazing thing. But anyway, for 1 hour and a half a week, I protect this time and enter into this space where everyone who enters comes with the intention of fully accepting everyone who's there and openly sharing whatever is going on for them and openly sharing themselves. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. You know, I had no experience of group therapy before I started, which was like 3 years ago. And I only had seen these sort of people sitting in circles in movies doing this kind of thing, and it had never appealed to me because, first of all, I don't like really formal, structured activities, generally speaking, and I don't like prescribed routines of doing things. I don't like the fact that people have to all sit in a circle. And, there are lots of things about that just at core are in conflict with things that I like. So I wasn't keen on it when I started. So I had this sort of like, I don't know, it's not something that I'm naturally jumping at, but I read the little leaflet about it. I'm open to it because it was something I hadn't tried before. And when I read the leaflet, I thought, actually, that sounds like it would be of value in my life. And so I've been doing this for like 3 years. I took like a year out in the middle because one group I started ended. It had a 2-year limit on it. And so um, that was the agreement that you committed to, that you would start, and 2 years later you had to leave. And this was kind of a valuable part of the process as well, actually. This experience of completing a process, committing to something and completing that commitment. So, anyway, one group ended, I had a break, and I'm in a new group now. Well, new, I've been in it for like a year. A year? I don't even know, maybe like half a year. I don't know, I lose track of time. But anyway, I went on Thursday. And when I go to group on Thursday, the thing about creating a space and protecting it like that is it creates opportunity for things to come up that otherwise would not come up. So whenever I go into group, I access my emotions in a way that I often can't access from day to day, that in ways that I can only access through my writing and my songs and my dreams. So on Thursday, this happened again. Things always just come up. It's a space when I step in, it's like something inside me knows like this is okay. Everything can open up. And maybe I should be like that all the time in life with, around myself and around people that I love. But anyway, this is what happens in group. And this Thursday, some really hard things came up, some really deep and powerful feelings that were really raw. And I kept saying, I don't even use this term normally, but I kept saying, oh, it's like time travel. Because people were like, what's going on? What's going on for you? Because I was just sitting there and just like, I started shaking. I didn't even know I was doing this. I started shaking and then I just started crying. And I was like, it's like time travel. Time travel. I feel like I've just stepped back. I've gone back in time to when I was a child, and I'm feeling things right now like I felt them then. And I'm feeling the same things. And so this was going on. But then someone was like, well, how does that impact your life? And he's like, I'm having a really big disconnect because I can see that there's this thing that's really challenging for you, but then when you talk about your life right now, it's like your life is hunky-dory and everything is okay and you're just okay and fine. And I was just like, God, I don't even frame life in those terms. I don't think about life as being hunky-dory or awful, or like, I don't judge life like that with like one label right across it, like this is what life is. I don't do that. I I kind of see life as much bigger than that. I see the moment as being infinite. And so there's so much that gets held inside of a life. I wouldn't be trying to label it as okay or not okay. And if things were not okay, I wouldn't be trying to make it okay. That's just not the way I do it. I'm not saying that's not the way someone else should go about doing it, but it simply doesn't compute with the way I frame things. And so I told this guy in group, I was like, Mm, yeah, it's funny you keep saying these phrases that when you hear me talk, you hear me saying my life is totally fine, my life is okay, my life is hunky dory, and you're like, because I don't think of life in those terms. I don't judge it on that in that sort of way, and so that's not coming from me. Basically, I've never said, "Oh, my life is okay." I've never said, "Oh, my life is not okay" either. But I simply share whatever comes up, and yeah. But he was kind of saying, why are you even in group? Why do you even come? Because it seems like I don't really have problems that I need to be dealing with in a way, like in my current life. That's what he was saying. Sort of like, you are not messed up enough to be here. And that idea that you would judge someone as being like so messed up or not, like we are all messed up in different ways. So why would you judge someone like that? That's not really like, these are not things that make sense to me, but they're things that a lot of people do. And this is why when I tell people that I'm going to group therapy, they get really uncomfortable because they're judging me as being like, "Oh, she is so messed up, she has to go to group therapy," or "Her life is so bad, she has to go to group therapy." That is the judgment that is there. Yeah, I don't mind people thinking that about me. I don't mind what people think about me, to be honest. But I'm I'm LeeSun Truth Teller, so I want to talk about the truth, which is that the truth is that we are all messed up in different ways, and just the nature of judging someone as messed up or not, including yourself, is pretty counterproductive. It doesn't serve you, and it may keep you from engaging in processes that are really good for you because you think, "Oh, I'm not messed up enough for that." Or when you do engage in processes where you think people who are really messed up should go, like, is that going to help you if you enter into something with this idea like, "I am so messed up"? Like, there's a certain finality to that kind of a label. Anyway, where am I even going with this? I'm so sleep deprived, so please bear with me. Thoughts are scattered, brain doesn't really work. I've only had a couple of hours sleep because Thursday all this emotion stuff came up from the past, and I am still in the middle of that, and I don't know what my subconscious is trying to say, but I'm not fighting it either. I'm not, like, I could very easily on these sleepless nights, like yesterday night and the night before, I could easily have just made myself go back to sleep because that's one of my skills. I'm really, really good at sleeping. I'm really good at sleeping, falling asleep quickly and sleeping soundly. I can make myself do it, but I don't normally have to make myself do it. I just do it. But when something like this comes up, I could easily turn on a hypnotherapy type thing or a meditation thing and simply like meditate myself into a sleep state again. I could, but I didn't because even though I was so tired from the sleep deprivation, it was more important to me to allow myself to just be whatever I was being, to allow these things to come up because if they're coming up for a reason. So last night, I got in bed at 10, woke up at 12, wrote this song, We're All Made of Stars. I think I've already said that, but I can't remember because my mind is so like crazy sleep deprived at the moment. It's really, really beautiful song. And here I am now, stupidly awake on a Saturday morning, doing this vlog. I'm just going to stop talking here because I don't even know if anything I've said makes sense and if anything I keep saying will make sense. So, bless you. I hope something in there serves you in some way. May not. I don't know. I'm not trying to advise you or anything. I'm simply sharing my experience, which this morning is full of exhaustion, sleep deprivation, and consequently scattered thoughts. Peace.